The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Tammy Haar with Blessing Hospital Skilled Care. How are you?
I'm good today, thank you.
Good. Okay, so I said skilled care. I think it's skilled nursing. Is it interchangeable, skilled care, skilled nursing? How do you?
It's actually skilled nursing.
Okay, skilled nursing. And
Yes.
I know a little bit about it, but only enough to be dangerous. So why don't you give me a quick rundown of what skilled nursing is?
So skilled nursing is either Medicare A and B or commercial insurance pays for so many days of skilled nursing after an acute care stay at a hospital.
Okay.
So we have following the same rules as any freestanding nursing home that has skilled care. We just happen to be located inside a Blessing Hospital.
Gotcha. Now, so you mentioned nursing home and stays after an acute stay, which is kind of a shorter, right? So if you go in, let's say you have surgery or something, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, but it's not necessarily for just elderly folks, right?
No.
Okay.
Our average census age is anywhere between 65 and 68, but we see those as young as in their 50s, and we've even had some individuals that may come in for a wound vac,
Okay.
and they may be in their 20s, and then they can't go home because they don't have the services they need at home. Maybe IV antibiotics for one reason or another can't be done at the home. So the age that we limit them is 18.
Gotcha.
So nobody younger than 18 comes to the skilled nursing unit at
Okay.
Blessing.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good to know. So then are there a set of prerequisites that someone has to meet before they're kind of accepted into a skilled?
Yes, and
skilled
those are
nursing
pretty
unit?
strict.
Okay.
For one, they have to have a skilled need, and Medicare and commercial insurances are very particular on this. You have to have a skilled need. One of them, you could have PT, OT, or speech orders, so one of those physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. IV antibiotics that can't be done in the home, so that's the stickler. We have to be able to document why they can't do those IV antibiotics in the home.
Okay.
Wound care has to be pretty specific too. It has to be something that they can't do in the home, and that gets a little trickier in today because we have so many home health agencies that can do a lot of things.
Right.
So we've really kind of tightened up the regulations on that. And those are really the three main reasons that you can stay on a skilled nursing unit.
Okay. Now, do you have to be a patient at Blessing Hospital to be accepted into the skilled nursing unit?
No.
No.
We take referrals from all over. But most of about 98% of our referrals do come to Blessing Hospital because they know that we're there. And we have a lot of people that come back.
Gotcha.
So they've been there for one reason and they liked it so well they want to come back. So we don't have a lot of open beds for outsiders at this time.
Speaking of open beds, how big is the unit?
We have 20 beds, but they're not all private rooms. So sometimes we're not able to put dual into a room that's not a private room because that person needs a private room. And with COVID restrictions, we still have those from IDPH here in Illinois. Still says if you have a certain condition such as a CPAP machine or nebulizers, that you have to have a private room.
Gotcha.
So we have 20 beds, but right now we're not always able to put 20 people up there.
I see. And then, of course, you have skilled nurses taking care of the skilled nursing unit,
and
right?
one thing about the nurses at Blessing Hospital is we use RNs, where a lot of your freestanding nursing homes use a lot of LPNs.
Gotcha.
We use RNs. Now, we also give blood. We do a lot of medications, IV pushes, those type of things that you may not see as comfortable level at as freestanding. We also have an inpatient hospice program.
Okay.
So our nurses have extra training on how to care for those individuals that meet inpatient hospice. And a lot of times they have a pain pump that they can't get control just doing IV medications. They have a continuous pain pump, and that's
Gotcha.
what qualifies them for inpatient.
Excellent. Okay, so prerequisites do stand, but you do have excellent care,
We do.
right? And speaking of excellent care, you have a 5-star rating. Is that right?
We do have a 5-star rating,
Okay.
which is pretty exciting for us. 5-star for CMS bases it on a couple conditions. One of those is our staffing. With running RNs all the time, we have an excellent RN ratio, so that keeps our at a 5-star in staffing. Our last surveys have been outstanding. Last year we received no tags, this year only 1 tag, so that's part of our survey, or our 5-star rating is our survey results. And the other is our quality measures. And we're pretty stickler on making sure that those quality measures stay high. So we have some pretty high standards on SNU.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on the 5-star rating. I'm sure
Thank
that
you.
that's tough, especially in today's world and with the heightened health concerns as of late. So quick question, just because some of these I'm just curious about. So if you don't have the answer, no big deal. But so you mentioned hospice. How, or is there a percentage of, or how likely is it that someone in skilled care goes home? How likely, or is it kind of it's not like a step between surgery and hospice, right? It could be anywhere from rehabilitation,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So many of your patients end up going home, or is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Over 95% of our patients go home. Either they go home with home health or they go home with a family member. We do sometimes send them to another level of skilled nursing. Maybe they go to a long-term skilled nursing.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay.
we're only short-term. Our average length of stay is 14 to 21 days. We're just not set up for the long-term patient.
Good to know.
So we're more of the short-term. So we may keep them, and maybe on day 30 we're just not seeing the progress. So we may have to send them to a nursing home to finish up their recovery a little longer. But we have seen residents that have come in, and maybe they have a terminal condition, but they're just not ready to accept that hospice diagnosis yet.
Okay.
Our nurses work with them. We talk to them about the death and dying process, and then we can convert them to hospice. Either they stay in inpatient hospice if they meet criteria, or we send them home on hospice.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes.
I learn something new here every
Yes.
day. I love it. Yeah. So, well, thank you for the work that you do. I know that it's
Thank you.
probably challenging. And again, congratulations on the 5-star. Now, is it a part? Are you affiliate of Blessing? Are you a part of it? I know you're within the facility, right? But it's a separate.
We do have our own separate licensing. We
Okay.
have our own separate agency as far as doing surveys, but we are also included into Blessing Hospital.
So you get all the resources.
So we get all
that-
the resources that Blessing Hospital has to offer. We just are under a different regulating agency.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you never want to have to need the skilled care, right? You never want the skilled nursing, but
Correct.
But if you need it, it's
It-
good
we're
to know
there.
that you're
We're
there
there.
and that you're top notch, and
Yes.
and that we can expect great things for your treatment, right? And your stay.
Exactly.
Excellent, Tammy. Thank you so much. I appreciate
thank
you coming on and chatting
Nice
with me.
talking with
Nice
you.
talking to you too. Happy
Yes.
New Year.
All right.
All right, coming up next, Britt B and I sit down and we talk coffee talk.
Tower Pizza and Mexican offers a full menu of pizza, wings, and Mexican favorites. Try the shrimp tacos, fajitas, or a Jeff's special pizza. Extra sauce, pepperoni, sausage, ham, and mushrooms, all on their homemade crust. Tower Pizza and Mexican, 2701 Broadway, Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
And we're back. Now it's time for
Coffee Talk
with Ashley and Britt B. What's happening?
Nothing. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. So our first coffee talk of the new year of 2024.
2024.
Crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
We're in the future.
We are. Not far enough in the future that I think some people predicted, but like you said, the Jetsons predicted something.
Yes.
I think the Simpsons predict more.
Oh, yeah.
Right? More accurately anyway.
That movie Idiocracy has predicted
It's
the best.
It's been pretty predictive too, yeah. So, I mean, and I'm going to start 2024 off in like, I've already talked to my kids. I'm like, I don't normally do New Year's resolutions because I think it's kind of silly to set yourself up for failure, I think, just because it's a new day. But I do have some things that I've, talked to my kids about. I'm like, let's use our time more intentionally, meaning cut down on some of the technology. And, as I left, they're both sitting on the couch watching their tablet. So that's probably why that came into mind. Because I'm like, let's be more intentional. Like, let's read a book, learn a new skill. So that's something that I really want to do.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it's a new year, but because it gave me this time of year gives me a second to just pause and be like, all right, how can I be a better person, a better version of myself?
Be a better person.
Right?
That's what I said to everybody.
Don't
New
be a
Year's
dick.
Day. I'm like, be a better person.
Yes.
When they're walking out the door, is she talking to me? I'm like, well, to
Everyone.
everybody, including myself.
Everyone has room
be
for
a better
improvement.
person.
And whether you wait till the first of the year or you do it throughout the year, good for you. I think it's always a good thing to reflect on what you can do better, whether it's for your family or yourself or your community. The other thing that I said I want to be more intentional with is speaking more kindly to my children, because I do tend to get
Hypened.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, like I get super stressed, and they're not always the source, but it seems like they take the brunt of it because
they're right there.
Yeah, and because they are a pain in the butt, let's be honest. So I'm like, I need to show a little bit more grace and realize like the underlying stressor is probably not them, and I just need to confront that and let them, let them off.
I like that you're saying, though, it's not so much about, resolutions as
Yeah.
it is
Intentions.
reflections.
Yeah.
It's a time of reflection instead of so much resolving the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know, just thinking about it. I did a little reflecting, I think, myself, and I don't have, resolutions except for I do the whole I'm going to eat healthy, And
Yeah, I gave up on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I want to eat healthier, as in more organic, I guess is how you would put it.
Shooting for that. It's just I do firmly believe our health it sources from the food that you eat.
100%.
So, I'm gonna. That's gonna be my resolution, I guess, is focusing on that. But the reflection is, when people, including myself, but when you're asking for respect, this kind of goes along with what you're saying. When you're asking for respect, asking how much you're giving it yourself.
Yeah.
I know that I demand respect a lot from people, but that's not something you can do. You can't just demand respect. You have to respect them or give them a reason to respect you instead of just demanding it. And I see that in a lot of when you're scrolling through and all these memes and of people saying this or that or leaving this person behind because they don't see things my way or this or that. And it's just like, man, that's just the mentality of everyone. And I think if we reflected a little bit about how much respect we're giving people when we're demanding this respect, then maybe the world would slow down and go around a little bit better. I don't know.
I agree. No, I think it's weird that, and I know we've said it before with all of the different channels to connect, that we seem to have used it incorrectly. And when I say use it, I mean people aren't seeking to understand; they're seeking to be right.
Yes.
And that's everywhere you go, it seems.
But it's so true.
It's no more apparent than online. And I think if we could all just take a step back and be like, this is there's a purpose for all of this connectivity, this connection, right? And it's to bring everybody closer together. So I think if we used it more intentionally with respect and realize that we're all flawed humans and we're all entitled to our opinion, but just because we have one doesn't mean we say it in such a way that demands respect and agreement, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you're okay,
know that you're here for understanding and not trying to always be right.
You're right, yeah.
We're all here for that reason.
Right? And some things change, some things stay the same. I know, you mentioned people commenting on stuff.
Yeah, so that's like one of the things when we're saying you're not always right or we're not always right or whatever, or just get your point across. So some things that are were in the news, this one stood out, was the Payton pleads guilty to Harrison Pub aggravated battery charge.
Yep. That's Brian Payton, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And all throughout the comments, you saw people, arguing back and forth to one another online. And then some people would even comment, shame on you, Muddy River News, for blah, 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 or such and such.
So the two
not,
sides...
Not giving the truth or the story. And it's like, no, well, we are. What we're doing is we're reporting from the court. We're not there. We're not the judges.
We're not character judges.
No. So like when you're saying, you didn't give all the sides of the story or whatever. It's like, we gave the side of the story that was the law side
Presented
of the story.
to us,
And that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
So we're not saying, this person is a bad person. That's not what we're there to do.
No.
I don't know. It's just interesting when people immediately, you're attacking the news source for somebody's, and then arguing character in the comment section isn't the place.
Character isn't. So here's what I say, and this applies to this situation and every other one. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that just because you make a mistake that you're a bad person. We're not here to say that one way or the other, right? But if you make a mistake, there are consequences.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it was warranted, not warranted. I'm just saying that it happened. There's a law against it. Now that that consequence has to be paid, whether they are generally a saint, great mother, great father, awesome neighbor, gives back to the community. I mean,
yes.
And I think, most of the time, most people are inherently good and we make bad choices.
Exactly.
I really don't think there are that many truly bad people. So anyone can come and say that about anyone who's made a mistake.
But I'm just here, and the biggest thing that I'm here to say, though, is like we're not here to judge character. No. We're doing is reporting the crime.
Yep.
Like it has nothing to do with character.
Right. And he is set to plead guilty. So
he did plead guilty.
He did. Okay. So
the actual sentencing is coming up here shortly.
Gotcha. So that self-admission, I think that is a step in the right direction. I'm sure he had his reasons to do that, but either way, don't come at Muddy River News for mistakes that other people make, because we're just here to report on it. And we could love the guy, we could love both of them, but we still have a job to do.
Exactly.
So, we're going to do that.
Speaking of job to do, another thing in the news was that the Herald Whig's decision to reduce the days of the print product. So online comments, one of the big questions that I thought was interesting was what happens to the assumed business name requirements. So,
which is so weird because you brought this up. I never would have thought about this.
Assumed business name requirements, along with legal name requirements, name changes, legally under in the state of Illinois, have to be printed in a paper. So everyone's asking, well, if the print is
like
going
a public
down, it has to
publication,
be yes,
right?
An actual printed newspaper is what the Newspaper Legal Notice Act says. An actual print of paper. So now that this announcement has been made, and times are a-changing, I think that maybe this is a time to possibly look at the law and change the law. Yeah. Laws should always be revised,
fluid.
I think.
They have to evolve with the technology anyway.
Exactly.
You can't have a law that says this has to be printed if you have nothing printed in your... Right?
So, and I'm not saying they're not printing anymore, but with only the option of having it printed, twice a week or something.
Times,
I think that this is something that Muddy River News could take on, where we could legally print this or make this at some point in time.
At least publish it. So maybe if they just do like a change to the law to published.
Yeah, well, that's
Right?
what. Yep. Mm-hmm. And in most states, a lot of states, just to be clear, they do have it like that.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like it's like a state law. We're
And
one
we're
of
behind.
Yeah, it's like that about a lot of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, go figure. But that's okay.
But sometimes it takes things like this to point out
Yeah, to highlight it,
that we're behind and
Yeah.
we need to change
right?
with the time.
There you go. And it's, yeah, I think we all evolve.
And we're all
right?
changing
We're all
with
changing.
the time.
Yeah.
And we're going to change that date.
Right? And we're going to change that date. That's one thing I need to 2024.
2024.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's going to take me so long. But it is good to know that, some things stay the same, but some things, it's like, let's change it.
Yeah.
You got to change it. Meaning the crappy behavior online to one another, especially people in your own community.
Yeah.
It's like, just be nice.
Yeah.
Be a better person. In the words of Brittany
Be
Bull.
a better person. I took that actually from, I heard some server saying it the other day at our brunch, and she's yelling at everyone out the door, be a better person. I go, I'm totally stealing that, and
Love
I'm
it.
using that tomorrow because that is the
It's
best.
perfect.
Yeah.
And I think it's something everybody can strive for. It's not a huge goal. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to work out more. Just be a better person.
Yeah.
Hold the door for people. Smile. Don't immediately jump to the worst conclusion or that people are just a-holes, although some people are, but not inherently, right? Because as we said, people make mistakes,
Yes.
and that's okay. And even if you can't stick with your resolution, right, for more than a week, which I think a lot of people, I don't know the average time, I think it's like 10 days
We
maybe.
should research that one.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 days that people hold their resolutions. And even if you mess up, that's okay. People make mistakes. Get back to it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And this has been Coffee Talk
With Bailey's.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.